you
Yeah.
come to this? I mean, did you go through a whole audition process for this film? How do you do all this and not fall in love with the character before you know you get to play her?
Good question. Um, yeah, I try my hardest not to fall in love with characters before I get to play them. But this one, I couldn't help but fall in love, and it was actually a very emotional journey for me. I read the script and fell in love. I taped and heard that I was going to meet with DJ, the director. I met with DJ, and I believe the process was a month long. This was like, I think, 2 years ago now. But I got it, but then there was a scheduling conflict. So I ended up having to let the role go, and I was devastated.
Yeah.
Yeah, because dates for another project conflicted, and so I actually heard months later that, because I kept asking about it, and I was like, I really hope that they push. Like, I hope that the dates push, and I heard that they did. So I actually took it upon myself to write DJ basically an essay telling him all about like how much I love the role and how much I hope that I would have the honor to play Angel. And yeah, we ended up chatting again, and then since the dates pushed, I was able to do it. So it was a very long emotional journey because I mean, was in love with this story and Angel's story. So yeah.
Had you known or heard anything about the book, or was it just the script that made you fall in love with her?
So it was originally the script. I had friends and family who had read the book. I was not familiar with it, so I read the script and I loved it. And yeah, my mom actually was like, "Oh my gosh, I read that book. I loved it." So after reading the script, I read the book, and I mean, I can see why.
How daunting is it then to know that you actually have like this group of fans that is already there, who already wants to see the movie, and you have that expectation? How do you tune that out?
Yeah, I mean, I feel I have a huge responsibility to this role and to the fans of the book, and to Angel. I I try my best not to let it you know be in my mind 24/7 when I'm filming, because it's a daunting task, and it's a yeah, it is some pressure, but you know I I really do want to do Angel justice for the fans and for the people who really, adore this book and who have loved it for years. So, yeah, I think it's just a matter of, doing your proper research and preparation, and then really leaving it at the door, and when you're on set, just letting your creative energy and artistic energy flow. So
This film doesn't work if the chemistry between Angel and Michael isn't there, and if the audience doesn't care about them. So at what point in the process did you guys meet, and how did you, I mean, did you have conversations about that relationship?
we met in South Africa. So which is so funny. I mean, looking back, I'm like, oh my gosh, it could have gone so wrong. But
Yeah.
luckily, we met and we just hit it off. And I mean, Tom is incredible. He's a great person, great friend. So yeah, I adore him. But yeah, we did chem reads. We actually did do chemistry reads, but he was in the UK at the time, and I flew into South Africa before I think we even had our Michael. So DJ called me into his office and was like, "We have our Michael. This is him." Showed me his tape, and I was like, "Okay, great." He's like, "He arrives next week." I was like, "Awesome." So yeah, we met in South Africa.
Did it find, like, once you guys finally got to do a scene together, did that really sort of help you feel like it was all in place?
Yeah, it really did. I mean, just from meeting Tom, you just kind of know. So I was like, okay, this is gonna be great. I feel like we're in a really, we both felt very comfortable with each other. But we did do some rehearsals at, I believe, like one of our houses. DJ met with us, and we just kind of went through scenes and stuff. And yeah, immediately we were just, very excited for what was to come.
He's really one of the only characters that actually treats Angel well. She doesn't have, the best people in her life.
Right.
So what was it like to really figure out all those relationships and those dynamics and work with those different actors? You have so many people that you're doing scenes with who are not treating her well.
Yeah. It was, I got very lucky, and it was just a very safe environment and a wonderful place to be able to do those types of scenes. So, and by that, I mean the cast, they were all just so lovely and respectful and kind and professional. So, yeah, we definitely lucked out there. So I think that made it, insanely, I wouldn't say easy, but much easier than it, would have been otherwise. So
Even though there really is no shortage of horrible men in this story, for me, someone like Duchess is worse as another female who's selling these young women. So how do you feel about that character and what she represents to Angel?
yeah, I think that Duchess is almost a motherly figure to Angel, because her mother passed,
Yeah.
and she has this negative outlook on life now, and now this is the only other woman that's been in authority to her. And I think it just kind of further proves Angel's theory that everything is horrible and nothing can go right. So I also think that seeing Angel watching Duchess listen to McGowan as well is a painful thing too. I don't think she's ever seen really any women in her life stand up to men and stand up to, their abusers. And Duchess is just his right hand man or woman. So it's definitely a very complicated relationship there.
I first became aware of you with Chilling Adventures of Sabrina, and you've gone on to lead this film. You're also leading Fate, the Winx Saga, which was also did really well and is coming back for a second season. So what can you say to tease the second season of that show, especially for fans who have been waiting and will be still waiting a little bit longer to get to see it?
Yeah, it will be a little bit, I think. Yeah, I mean, I don't know how much I can say. I'm so bad with giving spoilers. So I'm like, I have to be careful.
Yeah.
I would say, I mean, there are more threats to the universe. There are more, we're introducing new characters, more love stories, more magic, more fighting, and yeah, just bigger threats and more questions being answered. I know it's very vague and people are going to get
Well, what was your reaction to getting to read the scripts, getting to see how the world would get expanded? How did you feel about, especially after playing her for a season, how did you feel about where she'd be going next?
Yeah, I mean, I was excited. I'm a fan. Of the series. So getting the scripts, it was Christmas morning. It was exciting. We don't get the scripts all in one, so we actually will get like a script, film the episode, and then we don't know what's coming next either. So, which is exciting and kind of nerve-wracking. So it's kind of, yeah, it was awesome.
What do you think fans would be most surprised to learn about the making of that show?
That the majority of it is CGI. Well, I'm sure they know that. I don't actually have fire powers. Some of the things that go into the CGI, like me, like when I have my fire powers, I have to like, well, season 1, it was literally like a rod, like a metal rod on my forearm, and then just like a light attached, and I would have to like move like this just to like hope that, and they CGI'd it out, but that's how I would do my fire powers because the light would hit my face. But it's stuff like that. It would be, you'd be talking to a metal ball and pretending it's a monster. So it's not as maybe glamorous as people may think. It's very, sometimes you sit back and you're like, wow, this is my job. I'm an adult and I'm talking to a metal ball.
Was the character like Angel difficult to let go of on the last day? Was she someone that you, after playing her, had become attached to in that sense?
I hope I did a decent job of protecting myself when it came to playing Angel. And you can only do so much because at the end of the day, it is your body getting thrown around or whatever, which, stunt doubles and stuff like that. But you are the one doing the scenes, and it could be another, it's a character, but I mean, I'd be lying if I said it didn't take a bit of a toll on me. But I feel like, I had a lot of people around me that were very supportive and very kind and created a really safe environment. So that was insanely helpful. And, if there was something, healing. But I definitely try to kind of separate myself from the character, especially in that kind of situation or circumstance, because it can, it's really tough material. So
yeah. What was the last scene that you shot, and what was that last day like?
The last day. In the last scene, you're asking what scene it was? The last scene was the last day was the last scene of the movie, and that was the last scene that we did. So we were chasing light, which means the sun was going down, and we had a certain amount of time to get this scene done. I was insanely sick. So like I don't know, I think I had food poisoning or something. So I would it was a interesting last day, but we were all pushing through, and everyone was very, very supportive, and I was like dead set on getting this done. So I was, pushing through some food poisoning and all that. It was a very interesting last day. But we got it done, and it was, looking back, it's one of those moments that you remember for like the rest of your life. It's like, remember how hectic and like scared we were that we weren't going to get this done. And, just the feeling of accomplishment is especially last scene of the movie on the last day. It was it's a really odd but good memory.
Well, no one will know what happened during the filming, so you can't tell. So thank you so much.
I probably shouldn't have said that. Like, now you're gonna watch the last scene and think of it differently. Like, please don't.
Well, you do beautiful work in this, and I appreciate you talking to me about it. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.